What's going on, guys? So it's Thursday morning, and I'm at QT. I had to come get my coffee, which is, I don't know if you can see that, my bang. But I get in the store, and I tell you, it's something new every day. Well, first of all, we're technically on a shutdown, but I need to go check on one of my jobs, the job that I've been on, to see if it's dry enough. So, if I was to get pulled over, I could, I got my business cards and all that stuff in here. So, I am part of the construction industry, so it's alright. Anyway, I get in the store and get my bangs or whatever. And there's a guy standing at the register. He's been standing there for I don't know how long. He was standing there when I got in, but he had like 2 or 3 bags with like two. I guess maybe had like 6 of those pig in a blanket things that they sell at QT. He had those, and he was just like posted up on the counter, like he had been there for a while, and so. Guess he'd been asking everybody, and I don't know if he was just high on, like, he didn't smell like weed, so I don't think he was high on weed. I think he was more or less high on some type of opioids or something, some type of narcotics. But, guy comes up and he's like, first of all, what I didn't like was he got right up on me, and anybody knows me, I don't like people, like, near me.
Now, can you please help us?
And can you please back up out my damn face? Okay, just back up, okay? I don't like you anyway, and you know that.
A lot of times, especially if I don't know you. Like, if I know you, it's not that big a deal, but when I'm at the line, at the store, trying to get something, I don't like you to be all up on me. Like, back up a little bit. And, he gets like right up on my shoulder, like on my right shoulder, and I'm like, do you not know what time it is? Like, I know couples that aren't even sleeping together, and you run, like, dude, come on now. Anyway, he's like, say, bro, you think you can help me pay for this? I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm just gonna steal them. And then they start falling out the bag and hit the ground. He picked them up and put them back in the bag, and I'm thinking, Jesus, you want to eat these things after they fell on the ground? And so I didn't even like answer his question. I just kind of kept going. Like, I kind of gave him a look like, what is wrong with you? Like, what are you talking about? But he seemed like he was just on another planet, honestly. He didn't even really wait for me to give him an answer. He was just like, you think you can help me pay for these? I'm gonna be honest with you, I was just gonna steal them. And then he walks to the next person, and he's like, say, you think you can help me pay for these? And I'm like, what is... Anyway, it's kind of funny because there was a state trooper in the store, like 15 feet away from him, and he's talking about, I was just gonna steal these. So, I guess it's kind of good he was asking and he didn't make the choice to steal them, but the clerks were looking at him like, what's going on with you? And then, I'm sure the state trooper, because the state trooper was in there before I got there, and I'm sure that somebody probably said something to the state trooper. Number one, because you're not really supposed to be out if you don't have something essential to do. I guess getting food was essential for him, but yeah, that was just kind of weird. Like, everybody's looking at you, or the cashiers are, you're right at the cashier's desk, and you're talking about stealing the stuff, and they hadn't reported him yet because he didn't run off with it, so I don't guess they can, arrest you for thinking about stealing something. It's not like conspiracy to commit murder or nothing like that. I'm sure everybody has probably at one point in time thought about stealing something, but I don't know, it's just kind of weird, and I'm just like, dude, please back up. Like, this is Rona season, and you are all on me like no. So anyway, I'm headed out to the job site, and I'm gonna see how muddy it actually is. Maybe I can get the excavator out here tomorrow and can do a little something, something. It's supposed to rain again on Saturday, and I think it clears Monday, Tuesday, or Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or something like that. But then the rain chances come back Thursday and Friday. So, and again, I've used excavators in the mud, or on muddy conditions. It's just not fun. And the fact that I have to trek over 5 acres of land in the mud, moving trees and all that junk, it's not something I really want to do. So if I don't have to do it, my thing is, I don't see the point in making a job harder than it actually needs to be, just for the sake of, making it hard. There's probably some guys out there that'll be like, oh, I use machinery in the mud all the time, blah, blah, blah. And, I mean, yeah, it can be done if you have to do it. In this instance, the guy's really in no rush to get the job done, so I don't have to do the job in the mud if I don't want to. It's just a matter of how quick I want to get it done. So, and how out of my mind I'm going to go from just boredom sitting at the house. I can't sit like and do nothing for long periods of time. Just because I've always been like the type of person that I feel like I have to be, actively engaged in something productive, so to speak. There are times when, I like to just chill and stuff like that, but chilling only lasts for so long. You cannot make it through life just chilling. You gotta do some work, and I just feel like I'm being highly unproductive, and I feel like life is just slipping by, which I guess can go both ways. In some people's, frame of thought, I guess you could call it, they would say if all you do is work, then life is passing you by because you're not, enjoying life or anything like that. And I can see how that could be true too. In my instance, I guess it kind of goes both ways. I do work a lot, but I enjoy what I do. So, I mean, it's, like I said, I do like going out and, whatnot, but if I can't do it, and right now we can't do any of it, YouTube only gets you so far. So I'd rather be out here working, even if I'm out here by myself in the middle of nowhere, than to just be sitting at the house. So anyway, I'll pick the camera up whenever I get back to, or whenever I get to the job site. And the guys here on the left, they are from Quinlan. They got that dozer out there. They tried to work the other day when it was muddy, and I think they almost got that dozer stuck. So, sometimes it's just not worth it to even try to come out and work in the mud, the slop, the rain. Anyway, I'll pick it back up whenever I get to the actual job site. So as you can see, the other day, 2 days ago, we got the workshop down. Didn't come all the way down like I wanted it to, but not to worry, because whenever I get the excavator out here, we're just gonna I'm gonna pick it up and grab this junk in as large sections as I can, and we're gonna take it to the fire. All that's wood and brush, and then this right here, the only thing else got these shingles, but other than that, I mean, the thing about shingles is that if you have to put them in a burn pile, pit, or whatever, it's better in a pit. But if you put them anywhere to burn, it's always better to flip them upside down and put them at the bottom of your what do you want to call it, fire. And that's only due to the fact that they may smoke. We burned a couple of them. I don't really like burning them, but if I have to, I will. But we burned a couple of them, and a couple of times, and what happens is as the smoke from the shingles starts to rise, once you get the fire nice and hot, the smoke will rise up, and it has to rise up from the bottom of the fire through what you would hope would be more burning fire. Doesn't really work if the fire is cold, but that's why I said if you get it nice and hot, it'll work good. But yeah, any of that dark smoke and junk like that, it'll burn itself out. So, but yep, we were trying to get this down, but that wall, and I think that one over there is holding the rest of this up. And you can see that cabinet right there is tilted back that way, so it's not going to take long for it to fall out. But anyway, the reason why I'm here is to check how dry it actually is, see if it's dry enough to get the track hoe in here. And I really don't think it is, and I didn't think it would be. Nope. And I've got my running shoes on today, so it's still pretty soft out here. I'll go this way. Like I said, the only other being out here right now that I can hear are the birds. Yeah, I still see standing water over here. This right here is pretty firm. It might be okay right here. I'd have to take a wide course because all this right here is wet. That's still soggy. That's soggy. And the idea, what we have to do is, since we have to clear along this line here, all the way over there, pretty much all the way back past the property line is behind that burn pile back there, so we got to go a ways back there. But I'm going to clear all that out, and the idea was to take all of this stuff and put it in that that burn pile back there. So leave me a message, because I don't know who you are, and you probably can't hear me. I don't have my headphones. I think the speaker on my phone has so much dirt in it, nobody can ever hear me when I just talk on the phone, so I have to use headphones. I don't have my headphones. Anyway, we got to take it from here all the way back there, which is a good 300, probably 350 feet or so from where I'm standing. I measured it, but I think it's about 350, maybe closer to 400, but that's a long way to go, with this stuff for the excavator. If it's going to be, it's a long way to go when it's dry, but it's even worse when it's wet. So, I don't know. I'll come back out here later on in the day. I think the temperature today is supposed to be almost 90 degrees, like 89 degrees. Winds about 12 miles an hour. Low humidity, so it should dry up a little bit more. It may not dry up as much as I want it to. Tomorrow it's going to be in the 80s again, high 80s. Hopefully the rain chances between now and tomorrow will, and they did leave a voicemail, hopefully they will dry off and not actually happen, because Saturday they're calling for a 60% chance of storms again, which means that once this finally has a chance to dry up, it's going to get wet again. So I don't mind if it gets wet again after I've completed what I need to do. It'll actually help it out a little bit. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna, like, this seems okay right here. This was sloppy soggy the other day. That seems okay. There's several different paths I can take, but what I don't want to tear up the yard more than I have to, because I can come drag stuff all through here and whatnot, but it's just gonna make a mess, especially when I don't have any work to do right in this area. So other than this right here, but you know, I don't see the point of messing up stuff that you don't really need to mess up, because it's just more work you have to do on the back end to fix it. So I don't know. I'll see. I still got to get those fence posts out, and I'm gonna have to come across at least right here anyway, because we got to take that porch covering off or whatever. We're gonna leave the house, but we'll just saw cut across the top of the roof, and I should be able to pick that up with the excavator and haul it out as one or two large chunks. But yeah, I'm pretty sure over here it's messy too, but. And walking on it sometimes is a little misleading because I only weigh like 215 pounds. But when you're talking tons and tons of heavy equipment on top of it, that presents a whole new challenge. You can still see standing water right there. And you can see it right here. This part right here, there was a drain line that you can see coming through right there. And the guy, it terminated right here. I don't know what the guy was thinking. I guess maybe he was thinking because he was out here in the middle of nowhere, he could do whatever he wanted to do. And I guess you kind of can, but he terminated the drain pipe right out here, and he buried a bunch of rock up under here. So, and I think the drain pipe either terminated right there or right here. One of those two. But you see these two big holes. I think it was right here where it terminated. Anyway, did that, and ever since then, all of this here has been flooded. Yeah, see, this side over here is just still flooded, and some of y'all might say, well, why don't you just get the excavator out here, do what you can do, and then wait until it dries up? Well, because it's springtime, and once I get the machinery out here, and I start using it, putting hours on it, the clock starts for, me being charged for it. I still got to get all this over here as well. So it won't take long. It looks like a whole lot more than what it actually is. The big trees are not coming down. The fence is coming down. This little part, this wood part right here is coming down, the carport. And then all of the little smaller trees are going to come down. So they'll rip out pretty easily. And then I'm going to go across this whole field over here and just kind of take the blade and maybe just push over. It's got a lot of big mounds in it, but I'm going to push those over and completely obliterate all of those mesquite tree things with the thorns on them, just because I don't like them. And that barn there. So I mean, it's not going to take a long time to do all this. It's just the fact of the matter that I have to take all this stuff to one centralized location. And I could dig a burn pit over here, but I don't necessarily like the idea of having, one fire over here, one fire over here in muddy conditions. If it was dry and I could get, go between the two fairly quick, it wouldn't be that big a deal. I've seen it done all the time. But because it's wet out here, I'm pretty sure, especially back there in the back, trying to trek across this thing is going to be a nightmare. It's going to be slow going because the excavator will be sinking. But anyway, I will make a call on whether or not I'm going to get it out here tomorrow and just suck it up and do it, or if I'm going to wait and hope that it doesn't rain on Saturday and maybe we'll get it out here Monday. And in one instance, the quarantine, the coronavirus thing is kind of helping me out because nobody else right now is doing too much. And in the other instance, it sucks because of what it's doing to everybody else. So, kind of wish I would have bought this property over here. It's got another house on it, but I think it's like 10 acres. But anyway, I think I'm going to head back to the house and work on some design work that I've got going for some stuff I want to get created and made. So we will see what we're going to do later on today based on the weather. But until then, everybody stay safe and have fun in quarantine, because I know a lot of y'all are probably ready to, spaz out on the people that you live with. Some of you are. Not all of you, but some of you are. Anyway, I'm done.